Moore, our candidate for mayor of the city of Atlanta. I want to thank all of you who hold Greenspace so dear and near to your heart, because Atlanta, as you know, is the city of trees, the city in the forest, and we want to make sure that we keep our viable green space all over the city and increase it as we move along. Green space was important to me as a young child as I was growing up. I really enjoyed my time outdoors in our parks and you know, just communing with nature. It is a peace and sense that goes along with our environment of our city and the well-being of our citizens. And so thank you all for allowing us the opportunity to share our vision and my vision for the city of Atlanta and its green space and its potential. That is an excellent question. Finding dedicated funding sources for all types of uses in our city is a very difficult thing. We do have funding sources for parks and green space, and we need to make sure that those funding sources are being used adequately. But what I want us to also do is think outside of the box and see how we can increase our green space that doesn't cost us a lot of money. For instance, here in District 9 as a council representative, there was a parcel of land that developers wanted to build houses on, and the neighbors didn't want it. And what I was able to do is get that property from the Land Bank Authority, and there are many pieces like it, which are within 10-minute walk from people's homes, and created a green space. And we can use the Land Bank Authority and its property to identify other opportunities like that that won't cost the city money. And also, as we're looking at new development in our city, we also need to look at requiring that green space be a part of anything that's being built. So I believe that the question is assuming that a park in and of itself would displace residents, and I'm not so sure if that's the case. However, when the area is redeveloping or gentrifying, as others may call it, then the housing prices and the appraised value of properties go up. One thing I really want to look at is how do we protect legacy residents in that occurrence? And I would love to see if we could get a special exemption for legacy residents who've lived in their homes 10 years or longer, so that we can cap their assessed value on their property, or cap the amount they can spend on their property for property taxes. Of course, we would have to have cooperation from Fulton County, and most importantly, the school system, which is 56 cents out of every dollar. And that will help to keep legacy residents in their homes. Typically, taxes is the #1 issue that drive people out of their homes. Not necessarily parks, but sometimes also the development that goes around it and the real estate market, which increases the value of property as it's bought and sold in a neighborhood. So capping the property tax valuation for a legacy resident, I think, is one way we can go about doing it. Our beautiful amenities of green spaces are not, I believe, the cause of that increase. Hello. Well, I love that question because I believe our Workforce Development Agency is certainly the catalyst to start the green job conversation. We want to make sure that we're providing a range of jobs, but also new types of jobs, and making sure that we can attract our youth to doing that. Our youth want to make money, and we want to provide them summer programs and training programs, and what a wonderful opportunity to use our Workforce Development Agency while we're providing youth jobs, to have a specific set of jobs where they can augment our staff in our Parks and Recreation Department. And also, when we're looking at just the department itself, as I have said many times to many different forms, that all of our departments need work. And so we can certainly integrate our youth into those programs. I think parks and green spaces will fit perfectly into what I want to do across the city, and that's create neighborhood standards. I believe that every neighborhood should, at minimum, be rated a C, and we will have various criteria across the city that we will rate everyone on the same level. And then we will be able to assess where resources are lacking and where they're needed, and in your instance, where green space is lacking, where maintenance is lacking, and what we need to do to fix it. So those neighborhoods that are ranking D and F are where we're going to put the resources so that we can get them up to average. Those who range above average, it's not that we won't continue to do the maintenance that we have, but we know that they are stable and we need to make sure that we have adequate resources in the other side. And I think green space is a way to do that. We have areas, even though they may be ranked A in another category, they may rank D or F in terms of the amount of green space. And so that means that we have to get creative and finding ways to make sure not only do they have the green space, but they have the maintained green space. And I tell you, when I talk to citizens, they believe on one side of the town versus the other, there is not a level playing field in terms of the maintenance. And we're going to make sure that everyone gets equitable service in their community. Felicia Moore, and I am a green space champion because I know how it added to the quality of my life as a child and throughout my adulthood. I have championed parks. I have supported parks through my office as a council president as well as a district council member. I have created green spaces in my community with Jenny Drake Park. I have supported and maintained them with Sarah Gonzalez Park, Whittier Mill Park, and Underwood Hills Park, and all of those parks that make a part of District 9 and will continue to do so across this city. I am your green space champion.